Chullin Daf Samach. L'kovid Motzei Shabbos Melava Malka. We have some beautiful Agadata. The Gemara continues with the story of the Caesar of Rome talking to Reb Shimon ben Chananya. He says, "I want to make a meal for HaKadosh Baruch Hu." So Reb Shimon ben Chananya says, "You can't. He has way too many people. The entourage is huge." So he says, "I insist." He says, "Okay, go to the banks of the water and make the meal over there. There's a lot of room there." So he went and he spent 6 months of the summertime. And after the 6 months comes a big wind and blows everything into the water. So he spends another 6 months during the winter. After the 6 months, the rain comes and sweeps everything into the water. So he goes to Reb Shimon ben Chananya and says, "What's going on here? What is HaKadosh Baruch Hu teaching me?" He says, "HaKadosh Baruch Hu has sweepers. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has people that pour water. They do sponja. You're not going to be able to do it." He says, "Oh, I got the hint. Fine." The Caesar's daughter wasn't any smarter. And she tells Reb Shimon ben Chananya, she says, if you're HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a carpenter, because it says, Hamakar b'mayim al yosav, which really means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us beautiful clouds to give water to the fields, but she learned it as HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes roofs. So he's a carpenter, so maybe he can make me a spindle, a wooden spindle, so I could spin some thread. So he says, yeah, in fact, I could take care of that. So he davens for her, and she gets leprosy, and anybody who has leprosy in Rome, they take them and they put them in the marketplace and give them a spindle so they could spin some thread, so people should have rachmanis and daven for them. One day, Reb Shimon ben Chananya is walking in the marketplace, and he notices the daughter of the Caesar is sitting there spinning thread, and he says, "No, how do you like that spindle HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you?" She says, "Oh, you're here. Could you please daven for me that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should take it back?" She says, "No. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a giver. He never takes back." Says the Gemara. Rav Dida says, and this is the halacha for Mekach u'Memkar, that an ox has 4 things that are wide: his belly, his tail, his head, and his hooves. Whereas a donkey, it's the exact opposite. They're all narrow. So if somebody says, "I want to buy an ox," this is what he means. He means with these things that are wide versus narrow. When Adam HaRishon sinned, that first night, he had no idea what night was. He thought it's supposed to be bright and light 24 hours. He thought that the night is there because he sinned. So he right away brought a carbon. Says the Gemara, "V'titav Hashem mishor par, makrin mafres." He brought a shar that had makrin. Makrin would mean, really, it had horns. But since the Torah says without a yud, the Gemara learns that it was a unicorn. It had 1 horn. And in fact, the Gemara says, Yeshua Malevi holds that all the creations during Shisha Simei Bereshis, they were all full adult animals. And that actually answers the world famous, the old question, what came first, the chicken or the hen? Well, here you see, it was created as an adult. So this shar was created with a horn, and in fact, it came out of the ground, horn first, before its parses. That also explains why the Torah says shar par. Shar means a day old bull, where a par is a 3-year-old. So which one is it, a day old or 3-year-old? The answer is, it was a day old, but it came out as a 3-year-old. We say every day, Yichvayed Hashem la'olam, Yismach Hashem b'masav, Hashem should rejoice, should be happy with His creation. It's not David HaMelech that invented that pasuk. It's the Sar Shel Olam, says the Gemara, because the grass made a kal v'chomer. If trees, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said they have to be lemineu, they have to grow individual, they can't intermingle with each other, and there's an Isser Klaim to graft one tree from another. So us, grass, HaKadosh Baruch Hu never told us how to grow, we certainly shouldn't intermingle, we're too messy, and will be usher. So they came out of the ground by themselves, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu said afterwards, limineu. So on that, Sar Shalom said, look, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, your creation, Yismach Hashem b'ma'asav. They're careful with your mitzvahs. How do you give HaKadosh Baruch Hu simcha? By being careful with his mitzvahs, says Rashi. And the Gemara remains in a teiku. If somebody grafts grass, is he over? Since HaKadosh Baruch Hu never said that you shouldn't do it, or maybe Hashem was happy with what they did, and that's why he said limineu, and it's included in the Isser. The famous Gemara, it says in the pasuk that when the HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the sun and the moon, it says Shnei Amaris Hagdolim, they were both large. And then within that same pasuk it says the Samara Katan, it calls the moon small. So what happened? The Gemara tells us that the moon came to the Rebbeinu Shalom and said, listen, it doesn't make any sense that there should be 2 rulers in the world. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you're right. I want you to reduce yourself to the size of the moon, which is probably 1/4 millionth of the sun. Says the Gemara. So the moon says, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. I came and told you that it doesn't make sense to have 2 rulers. Why should I get punished? I wasn't complaining. I was just saying that it doesn't make sense. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, okay, you know what? I'll make you even greater than the sun. People will be able to see you during the day, whereas the sun, nobody can see during the night. That doesn't work. Well, it's like putting a candle in the light. in the daytime. Says the Gemara, Akadosh Baruch Hu told him, okay, we'll use you as the calendar, lunar years. Says the moon, but for lunar years you need the sun as well, because Yom Tovim are based on seasons, and that's why we add, like in this year we had a leap year, another month. Says the Akadosh Baruch Hu, okay, I'll have big tzaddikim named after you. You're Anav, you're Katan, so I'll have Yaakov, Katonti, I'll have David called a Katan, I'll have Shmuel, says the Marsha, it means Shmuel HaKatan the Tana. Akadosh Baruch Hu saw the moon wasn't happy. Says Akadosh Baruch Hu, you know what? Every Rosh Chodesh Klal Yisrael is going to bring chatos lashem, a chatos to be mechaper kaviyachal Akadosh Baruch Hu for what he did to the moon, that he made him smaller. Says the Gemara, there's a stira. It says vatoitzer is desha. When did the grass grow? On the third day. Then it says that there's no grass until Friday. So what do? Says the Gemara. It says in the pasuk, "Himder Hashem lekim al haaretz v'adam ayin la'avoid." There was no adam rishon la'avoid. The pasuk pshat is to work the field. Eso adama. Says the Gemara, no. La'avoid means to daven. Ula avdei b'chol avavchem. Hakadosh Baruch Hu is misavel l'tfilasim shel tzaddikim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu desires the tefillah of tzaddikim. He waits. That's why he causes these things. So you should have to daven for the rain. Says the Gemara, it says in the pasuk Hashesua, the parsha Shesua, that the hoof is split. But Rav Chanan bar Rava learned it differently. Shesua is a type of animal that has two backs, two spines. And from here you could see that the Torah was given by Hakadosh Baruch Hu, because how did Moshe Rabbeinu know about the Shesua? Says the Gemara, a very interesting lashon. V'chi kenigni belistri, is Moshe Rabbeinu a hunter? And the Gemara says on that, oh, those are such special words. We should put them away in a Haggadah and in a special book, such as the other word, arunki, that we find also by the shaila that we had. It says in the pasuk, "B'chameshes sarni Plishtim." Plishtim had 5 princes, and then the pasuk goes on to describe 6. So is it 5 or is it 6? It says the Gemara, the 6th one, Avim, is not counted because they're not princes, they're not sarni. Rav says the pshat is different. Avim is not even Plishtim. The Torah said 5 types of Plishtim, and at the end of the pasuk, Avim, the 6th one, is from Esav, not Plishtim. Now, why are they called Avim? And on the Gemara says Arunki, and that's also a special word, put it together with blistering knigi. But why are they called Avim? Avim because people feared them. One of the pshatim is they feared them. They were cannibals. They used to eat people. They had 16 rows of teeth like sharks. People saw them. They trembled in fear. Says Rish Lakish, there are psukim that seem unnecessary and even perhaps burn them, says Rish Lakish. A very strong lashon. For instance, what do I care where the Goyim Avim live? The answer is because Avimelech made Avram swear to him that he won't shep his children for 3 generations. So how do you kick them out of their land? You're not allowed to shep them. So what Hakadosh Baruch Hu did was, and the Avim are Plishtim, how are you going to get rid of the Avim? Hakadosh Baruch Hu took the Kaftorim and made the Kaftorim fight with the Avim, get rid of the Avim. Then Klal Yisrael was able to go and get rid of the Kaftorim. Similar to Ammon and Moav, it says Sichon Tiru Ammon and Moav. We can't fight with Ammon and Moav. So we let Sichon do the dirty work. Then we go and we kick Sichon out. Says the Gemara, it says in the pasuk that Yosef HaTzadik, another pasuk that seems like unnecessary. So that Yosef HaTzadik took Mitzrayim and put them all over in Mitzrayim, moved them around. Why does the Torah have to tell us that? To say that Yosef HaTzadik didn't want his brothers to feel like they were refugees. So he made other Mitzrayim refugees as well, so the refugees couldn't make fun of other people and call them refugees. Have a wonderful week. A good tavach. I'll see you Be'ez Hashem tomorrow.